Good morning, Ian Crouch with your 8:30 Hunter News update. It's hoped an inquest into the disappearance of Newcastle man Jaden Penno-Thompson 3 years ago will today learn more about his last known movements. The 22-year-old vanished after getting out of a car being driven by his friend Lucas Tattersall during a road trip to Cairns on New Year's Eve 2017. It's believed the pair had been arguing before Jaden stormed off. He hasn't been seen or heard from since. Mr. Tattersall kept driving to Cairns when his friend didn't return. He's due to give evidence today in Cairns Coroner's Court. A Newcastle man and a Perth teenager have been charged with trying to import more than 74 kilograms of heroin from China. Helene Lambetsos reports.
Border officials in China intercepted 254 blocks of heroin vacuum sealed in foil bags destined for Australia. The drugs were replaced with another substance before being sent to their intended addresses, 3 in Newcastle and 1 in Perth. One package was found in the bedroom wardrobe of a 17-year-old Perth girl, another with a 23-year-old man in the New South Wales Hunter region. They're both facing life behind bars.
A proposed restructure of the University of Newcastle is estimated to cut 120 positions within the institution. The restructure aims to save $35 million. Vice-Chancellor Alex Zielinski says the loss of international students since COVID-19 has had a significant impact on the university's financial position.
We've used international students to balance the books. With COVID, international students didn't come here. So our international student enrolments this year are down 33% compared to the previous year. So that translates to a funding gap. The government has put in, a package which is adequate just for teaching only. But we also need to worry about research, so we need other funds of research. We have to work with industry.
Hunter residents are invited to attend a candlelight vigil at Civic Park tonight to recognise victims, survivors and frontline workers in domestic violence cases. The event will begin at 6 p.m. and will mark the beginning of Domestic Violence Prevention Month. Gender researcher at the University of Newcastle, Rachel Bond, hopes the event will raise awareness for the severity of domestic violence in the country.
I think it's very important to continue to raise awareness and to let victim survivors know that there's support for them in the community. I think domestic abuse can be incredibly isolating and alienating. So for people who might be experiencing abuse, know that there are lots of people in the community who support them. For those who have lost a loved one, we are also here with them, standing in solidarity for the pain and the loss of losing someone to domestic abuse.
Maitland Council has been given $594,000 in state funding to improve the city's main street. The money will be used for increased shade, garden and green spaces, a parklet and additional seating for outdoor dining on High Street. It will also see more creative street and footpath treatments and provide an enhanced shared zone experience in nearby streets. Work is expected to get underway immediately and should be finished within 12 months. Newcastle is hosting the National Innovation Games at City Hall today. The event is funded by the Australian Government and will see 10 diverse teams come together to solve problems to make the city more inclusive and accessible.
2NURFM Sport.
The Newcastle Jets are hoping for a win to remove them off the bottom of the ladder when they take on Sydney FC this weekend at McDonald Jones Stadium. The team's last win came almost 3 months ago. Returning captain Nigel Bogard is hopeful the young team will be able to secure a win before the end of the season.
It is a game of moments, and it's whether you have the ability to take the chance to score or the ability to stop a goal.
Knights coach Adam O'Brien has kept squad changes to a minimum after the team's 34-point loss to the Roosters last weekend. Young playmaker Phoenix Crossland and returning star Hymel Hunt are O'Brien's only new additions for this weekend's clash against the Raiders. The Newcastle Jockey Club is hoping to run more standalone city meetings at Broadmeadow this year, working with Racing New South Wales to bring more programs to Newcastle's all-weather course. And former Matilda Riley Dobson is getting involved in the FFA Cup, playing in the men's competition for the Bushrangers in their clash against Lambton tonight. And the winning numbers in Oz Lotto are 38, 2, 34, 8, 20, 18 and 15, and the supplementaries are 6 and 37. And now you're up to date with the latest 2NURFM Hunter News.